Did you know that nearly 42% of American adults are obese? And while we often blame personal choices, diet, or lack of exercise, there's one huge factor nobody talks about: the way our cities are designed. Think about it. Have you ever visited a city where you could walk to a coffee shop, a grocery store, or even work? Well, places like New York City, San Francisco, or Chicago's downtown make it easy. Now compare that to Houston, Phoenix, or Atlanta, where you need a car for everything. That's not an accident, it's by design, and that design, it's making us fat. Zoning laws are what decide what gets built where in your city. When a grocery store in your neighborhood, zoning laws decide if that's allowed. When a park within walking distance, again, zoning laws. Here's a quick history lesson. In the early 1900s, zoning was introduced to separate dirty industrial areas from residential homes. After World War II, single-use zoning became the norm, separating homes, businesses, and recreation. This led to the suburban boom, which meant sprawling developments where you needed a car to do anything, and that's where the problem starts. Most American cities were designed for cars, not people. That's because single-use zoning makes everything too far apart to walk. Need groceries? Gotta drive. Going to work? Drive. Even the gym? Drive. Take Los Angeles, for example. It's known for its car culture, but that wasn't always the case. Before the 1950s, LA had a massive streetcar system, but urban planning prioritized highways over public transit. Now, LA residents spend hours in traffic and rarely walk. Compare that to places like Tokyo, Amsterdam, or Paris, where people naturally get exercise just by living their daily lives. In walkable cities like Boston or Portland, Oregon, people walk because it's convenient. In car-dependent places like Dallas or Orlando, we don't walk because we physically can't. And that lack of daily movement, well, it adds up. Here's a crazy fact. There are entire neighborhoods in America where you cannot buy fresh food. These areas are called food deserts, and they exist because of zoning laws. Detroit is a perfect example. After years of economic decline, many full-service grocery stores just shut down. Now, residents in some neighborhoods have to travel miles just to buy fresh produce. Meanwhile, cities like Baltimore and St. Louis have zoning laws that make it easier to open McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco Bell than any supermarket. And that means millions of people are left with two choices: eat unhealthy food or travel long distances for healthy food. Think about your neighborhood. How far do you have to go to find a park or safe place to exercise? Take Phoenix, Arizona. It's one of the least walkable major cities in America. Many neighborhoods lack sidewalks and public parks are rare. Compare that to Seattle, Washington, where the city invests in green spaces and bike lanes, and studies show that lack of green space is directly linked to higher obesity rates. And here's where it gets even worse. These zoning problems disproportionately affect low-income and minority communities. For example, Washington, D.C. has some of the most walkable areas in the country, but only in wealthy neighborhoods. In lower-income areas like Anacostia, residents have to rely on long commutes and limited grocery options. Meanwhile, wealthier areas of San Francisco have zoning that limits fast food chains and preserves walkability, while parts of Oakland and Fresno get stuck with more fast food and fewer green spaces. And guess what? They have higher obesity rates. So how do we fix this? Here are three big solutions. Mixed-use zoning. Cities like Portland are already integrating housing, retail, and public transit to make daily walking easier. Healthy food zoning. New York City has experimented with incentives for supermarkets and food deserts. And walkable cities. Boulder, Colorado is known for prioritizing pedestrians, biking, and green spaces. Seattle, Buffalo, and Austin have all made major zoning reforms to reduce car dependency. Seattle and Buffalo eliminated minimum parking requirements, allowing for more walkable, space-efficient neighborhoods. Austin recently followed suit, ending parking mandates to encourage denser pedestrian-friendly development. These changes are making it easier for people to move without relying on cars. And they're proving that better zoning leads to healthier, more active communities. Obesity isn't just about personal choices, it's about where we live. What do you think? Does your city make it easy or hard to stay healthy? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on how policy shapes our lives. Until next time, stay curious, stay active.